Archers win battles in Bannerlord. They do most of the damage while your infantry protects them. So today, I'm doing something stupid. I will try to win Bannerlord without using a single archer. No crossbow, and obviously no horse archers. Is it even possible? Let's find out. For this challenge, I will be playing as Nords, because Nords have the best infantry unit in the game. The Nord Huskarl, the only Tier 6 noble infantry unit in the game. It just makes it easy to recruit a lot of them if I am a Nord. Otherwise, I don't really like the Nords. I tried my best to build a Viking-styled character who looks like he is going to rip the enemy into pieces. Hopefully, I will be doing that in the battles to come. Otherwise, it would be a shame for this physique. For the build, my focus is going to be two-handed, mainly for fighting, charm, leadership, steward, and medicine. I am going to start at 20 years old. This is the hardest difficulty age to start from. The banner is going to be this axe, which is our main fighting style. My family name is Ironborn, inspired from Game of Thrones, and my name is Draven. We throw axes. Of course, I will be playing at Bannerlord difficulty and on Iron Man mode. This is going to be a pain. Let's begin the journey. I am going to put 5 points into medicine. I want to unlock 30% health regain after every battle. The remaining into charm and steward would be spending time doing quest early game. So this is the best time to upgrade charm. The only attribute point I will put into intelligence, so I unlock first level of medicine quickly. Next, I purchase some planks. They are available for good discount. Let's make some big money. And since there is nothing more to do in this town, let's move to Hargard. The same planks I sell for good profit. There were no discounted items at Hargard, so I left for the next town. I just started my journey, and I get a marriage proposal already. All the time spent building this body paid off. She literally is better at everything than me. Comes from a rich, noble family. Who says looks don't matter? But I rejected this office girl. I am looking for a woman who will march into battles with me and give birth to my warrior babies. Building empire takes armies. To build large armies, I need shit ton of money. So my next goal is to make a shit ton of money. How do I do that? Watch and learn. I go to the next town tile, carefully avoiding all looters and raiders. I buy some leather for cheap. Also, take up this delivery quest. He wants me to deliver 6 wool to the next town I was anyways headed to. Only problem, I alone can't pick so much stuff, so I would be slow and at risk of getting attacked by raiders. No problem, I will be careful. Complete the quest and make 650 gold. Also buy everything that is available at good discount. I always buy 2 of each item. This way I am not overloaded and am always able to sell for profit. Also, buy 1 horse from this little village to carry all this stuff so I am not slowed, and move to the next town. At the next town, I sell most of the items for good profit. Being a delivery boy and a trader, I managed to make 17,000 gold in just a few minutes. I have a big plan for this gold. I am so smart. I am going to hire my first companion. She is Kalisa the spice vendor. I give her a 509 gold signing bonus, and now she works for me. We travel to Saniopa. This town has decent prosperity, so I invest 15,000 gold and start a caravan from this town. Hopefully this caravan is going to make me 500 to 1,000 gold every day. My money issues for a very long time are solved. I just have to focus on building the army now. My wisdom has reached places. I get my second marriage proposal. This one is a warrior, just my type. She has around 200 polearm and over 200 horse riding. She can ride my polearm any time. I instantly accept the proposal. I can't wait to have babies who will help me grow the house Ironborn. And look at this. The benefits of marriage. I am 220 charm already. Also gained so many levels just like that. She brings great fortune for me. I am going to invest some points into two-handed now that finally we will be fighting and rest into athletics. The 2 ability points also I am going to put into endurance to get my athletics leveled up. These points in charm are going to be really useful, because finally I will be doing quest, and having good charm just helps me gain good relations with notables quickly. I am now going to focus on building my name and collecting renown, so let's gather some men and do some quest. My wife is loaded with good gear. Her armor is quite expensive. I told you she is just my type. For some reason, my caravan was not making any money. So I moved her to Hargard as her main town, and finally she starts giving some daily returns. I finally recruited some men into my army. These younglings are one day going to become legends who will be known for their bravery. But they have a lot to learn and a long way to go. I also bought exquisite food variety for my men. They put their lives on the line for me. This is the least I can do. Also helps me level steward so I can gather bigger army. It's time to give these younglings a taste of real world. Their first battle experience. A group of 14 looters. Good thing about Nords is that even their tier 1 recruits have shields. But do they know how to use them? I highly doubt it. I give my men charge command. Since we had numbers advantage, I thought this would be an easy victory. But what happened was all my specials units who are better have throwing axes. So they stayed back, and all the normal weaker units ended up pushing into the enemy. Even though we won, I ended up losing 3 Nord younglings. Let's keep that in mind the next time. On the other hand, this small battle gave me 44 points in athletics. I sold the loot from the battle and recruited some more Nord younglings. There is this hideout nearby. I want to clear it. It's good money. It's just been a few days since I got married. And my wife, she is already pregnant with our first child. All those points into athletics are paying off. I clear the hideout and get almost 900 gold, a few Nord peasants, and some decent loot. Towns and villages in the north are really far apart. Finding quest takes time. It's a good thing that we have a caravan who can support the wages of these men. Otherwise, I would go bankrupt looking for quest in the Nord's territory. But here I am making almost 500 gold daily. The most stupid decision I made to go further north to find quest. I made it to Thronderlag, but nothing. Went to Fimbulgard Castle, fought some forest bandits here. A group of 15 archers. I just pushed them in shield wall formation. Nothing my men can't handle. The enemy archers were doing some serious damage, so I could not contribute, but my men were excellent. They carried the whole battle. Only lost 1 Nord youngling. Lot better than my last battle. Next, made it all the way to Gretisfjord. And guess what? Not a single quest. My first child got born. Spent 9 months wandering around doing nothing. So decided to move back south. I did manage to find and clear a few hideouts. Good money and experience. Found my first decent quest. To clear a bandit hideout. Cleared. It got the money. Also got this amazing sword worth 17,000 gold. Going to be using this one until I find a nice two-handed weapon. Made it all the way east to Kuzate territory. Horses are cheap here, since I have so much money. It's worth investing into horses. So, I am traveling faster. So I got 50 normal horses and 10 war horses, which I will need later to upgrade my horsemen. Cleared some more hideouts. Yes! Got another decent quest, escorting a merchant caravan. Some raiders attacked my caravan. They all were horse archers and horsemen. Something that is a bit difficult for my infantry to handle, so I need to start recruiting some horsemen too. But for now, these men will have to do. Good thing clearing all those hideouts made them battle ready. 13 of my Nord Scion are now tier 4. The battle was a mess. I tried my best to kill as many horsemen with my new sword. Won the fight without any losses. Completed the quest, got almost 4,000 gold for it. Recruited a lot of Imperial Vigla recruits, who will become Imperial Elite Cataphract. They are one of the best cavalry in the game. Cleared a few more hideouts. Looked for a nice two-handed weapon at every town, but no luck so far. Got another decent quest to take care of deserters who are troubling these poor villagers. Deserters are trained men, so I upgraded my army. Now, I have a lot of horses in my army, so their horsemen should not be a problem. I should be able to take care of their high-tier units, and my men should be able to handle the rest. I did not do much in the fight, except for killing a few crossbowmen. But luckily we won without any losses, and managed to get 11 upgrades from this battle alone. I am this close to Clan Tier 1, so what do? Obviously clear another hideout. This time I was controlling my wife. She got 10 times better gear and skills than me, so I took the boss in a 1 versus 1 battle. He got his ass wiped. I got a few javelins as loot. I prefer axes, but I will hold on to these for now. And finally made it all the way to Clan Tier 1. Now I can become a mercenary for the big kingdoms and fight the real battles. My build is decent for now. I have got 230 charm, 150 steward, and 144 athletics. Still need to work on the medicine, leadership, and two-handed. My gear is almost trash except for this sword, but I don't need a one-handed sword. My army has 22 Nord Hearthguard, 19 of who are ready to become Tier 5 units. I have 12 Imperial Equit, lowest tier horsemen. Financially, I am doing really well. Soon to reach 50,000 gold. I have 40 prisoners ready to be sold for a lot of money too. Just waiting to find the right quest. The Nords offered me mercenary contract, but I declined it. I want to fight against them, so I can conquer the North. It will be a good, safe place to build my own kingdom from. Purchased a decent polearm for my woman. She is going to be leading the cavalry from now on. Sold all my prisoners for 7,000 gold. Got myself the flax. This sword I can use both, single-handed with shield and two-handed. A bit expensive at 44,000, but I can afford it. Can't wait to use it in battle. This has really good swing speed and decent damage. Purchased my first workshop in Tile, a wool weavery. Since prosperity is low in Tile, I got it for only 10,000 gold. Recruited a lot of Nord infantry. And got myself signed as a mercenary for the Sturgians at 170 gold per influence. It's time to try my new sword. The Sturgians were at war with the Northern Empire, so I will be raiding some Northern Empire villages. This will give experience to my men, and I can try the new sword. Is it worth all that gold we paid for? The poor villagers are weak and outnumbered. A bit sad, but that's how the world works. The weak is oppressed. This is what the new sword looks like. It's weird. Hope it does the job. I let my men hold in shield formation while I give the new sword a try. I like it, but I could feel that it does not have the range. Also, sometimes I have to attack twice to kill. Hopefully, with my two-handed skill going up, my damage will increase, and that would be sorted. But for now, I am keeping it. I got 11 upgrades from this fight. Next, I raided another village. The problem I felt was I would take a lot of damage from the archers when I went solo to attack from the side. I would eventually get wounded every fight. So, after raiding a few villages, I changed my strategy. I would send my horsemen to flank from side to distract the archers while I wiped the infantry. Even though I got wounded this battle, we finally won this battle without any casualties. As I left the village, I notice a few armies around me. My men are still not ready to take on real armies. They need a bit more experience, or the consequence would be we get wiped out. As I back off, I notice that it's 8 armies all around me. I take a few drastic steps. I upgraded every unit possible, even the ones I was holding off for later. I lose the prisoners. I don't want to be slowed down even one bit, and I push towards the solo army in the east. My army is no joke. 40 of my men are tier 5 units. The solo army in the east backed out. I was finally able to escape, but I was this close to losing everything I have. I guess the Northern Empire is really mad at me for attacking so many villages that they sent every army at their disposal to attack me. I take a step back. It's time to take a break from all the war. I want to recruit my second companion now. I will be having 2 infantry units. The first one is going to be the shield wall, who will absorb all the damage. This unit will be led by the new companion. And then there is going to be a second infantry division under me who will be doing all the damage. So I need a companion good at one-handed sword and athletics. After searching for a while, I found Isvan Bloodaxe. I gave him a 320 gold signing bonus and made him a part of my army. He has average point distribution with 4 focus points in one-handed, and athletics could have been better, but he will do a fine job. The Northern Empire is getting destroyed with Khuzaits attacking them from the east, and Sturgeons attacking from the north. The Khuzaits look too strong and will be a problem in the future. I went back into Northern Empire territory and raided a few more villages. After raiding 2 villages, the Nords declared war on us. The moment I had been waiting for. I left Northern Empire territory for north. The war between the Northern Empire and Sturgeons ended, but the Sturgeons were now being attacked at 2 ends. It was the Britannia from the west and Nords in the northeast. I am just a mercenary, and my army is not big enough to make a big impact. My goal is simple. To gain enough renown to get to Clan Tier 2, where I will be able to become a vassal and get my second army. Basically, will double the size of my army. So I went to raid a few Nord villages. I raided about 13 Nord villages, upgrading my troop with every raid, to the point that raiding villages was not worth it anymore. So I went back. And then an opportunity presented itself. One of our Sturgeon army was trying to take the Vladiv castle from the Nords. 2 Nord armies were waiting to attack them. I was more interested in the smaller group of 64 men, something that I could take on. I went for it. But the 2 Nord army attacked the Sturgeon army. It looked like if I did not help, the Sturgeons would lose. So I did what I should. I helped. At this point, I had 10 Imperial Elite Cataphracts, 36 Nord Huskars, and 17 Nord Scaldrasteer, and a large number of Nord prisoners. I knew I was ready. Add me into the fight. We had the numbers advantage. 403 Sturgeon versus 388 Nords. Exactly what the Allied Sturgeon general thought. He got too cocky and made an aggressive push. Since we are defending, we should be holding ground and not pushing. And when the 166 Nord archers started pounding the Sturgeon army, it was a bloodbath. I knew I needed to help, or it would be too late. So I pushed too. By the time my army made it to the real fight, it was total chaos. My men joined the chaos, and I still had hope that my elite troops can turn the tide of the battle. But the enemy Nord army was no joke either. Their elite Nord Ulfhedin, just one, tapped me at almost 90% of my health. My wife did a lot more than me, but eventually died to a Nord Huskar. After losing the leaders, the army lost the moral, and it was over. All the efforts that I put into training these men went to zero. It was over. Only 14 enemy men had survived the chaos. What should have had been an easy win turned into a loss. My army did make the biggest contribution in this battle. My boys did a great job. When I finally accepted defeat, I realized 2 of my men had routed, and they were still alive. Since I was just here to support the Sturgeon army, I could easily back out. 2 men carried over 60 wounded soldiers. We were too slow. An escape still looked impossible. The 64-strong Nord army was still around. I was in no condition to take on this army now. But there were over 20 prisoners who were ready to join our cause. The enemy army also looked so weak. 23 men against 20 men, and I could gain back the shame of defeat. But the newly recruited Nord peasants stood no chance. So I accepted these turn of events and salvaged what I had left, and made a retreat to an allied castle to recover. I lost around 1/3 of my top-tier troops, but the universe had given us a second chance. I was going to make the most out of it now. The Sturgeons, who once looked strong, were now at the back foot. The Batanians had taken over Varkeg with a few castles in the west. Another castle in the west was also conquered by the Nords. On the east side, also, the Sturgeons had lost 2 castles to the Nords. That is not all of it. The Sturgeons are now paying daily tribute to the Batanians, Nords, the Khuzaits, and the Valandians. The only one doing worse than the Sturgeons is probably the Northern Empire. I am not one of the Sturgeons. I want to make my own kingdom. But I am not going to betray the Sturgeons and join another faction just because they are having a bad time. My current goal is set, reaching Clan Tier 2. So I take on any fight that I can get. This group of Nord deserters is worth attacking. An easy fight. My infantry takes care of their infantry, and the archers are taken care by my cavalry. One without losing any of my men. I found a group of deserters troubling a few villagers, so I helped. It's just 34 deserters against my 100 men. Another easy fight. And then I found this quest to ambush some raiders attacking a caravan. Somehow lost 2 horses, but finally reached Clan Tier 2. Now I can have up to 2 armies in my clan. It's time to recruit my 3rd companion. Someone who has good steward skill to gather large group of men, good medicine skill to increase casualty survival chance, and good leadership skills to improve morale. I found Ulbesos the surgeon. I gave him a signing bonus of 358 gold and he joined my clan. He has 5 points in medicine already. Just need to work on his steward and leadership skills. Won't be too hard. Since I will be doubling my army size, I need more stable revenue sources. So I purchased some workshops. I purchased a wood workshop in Varnovopol and another wood workshop in Sibir. Since wood is sourced from nearby villages and the sturgeons would be at war soon, the ranged weapons and shields my wood workshops produce should be in demand. So I should be making a lot of money. Hopefully. On my way back, I also ran into the Sturgeon King. I had a choice if I want to become a vassal for the Sturgeons or remain a mercenary. As a mercenary, I am being paid by the Sturgeons to fight. But as a vassal, I would be taking over the share of tributes the Sturgeons are paying other kingdoms. Sound bad, but I had to do it. To control the new army that I will be creating, I need to become a vassal. This is just a temporary phase, but a required one if I am to build my own kingdom one day. He gave me a few sturgeon horsemen as reward, and a decent two-handed battle axe. This battle axe is too slow for my taste, so I gave it to our new companion Ulbesos. As a vassal now, I am paying 61 gold daily as tribute to other kingdoms. But with the income from the 3 workshops and my caravan, I think I can manage. Next, it's time to create the new party as Ulbesos, the healer, as the party leader. Together, we go on a recruiting spree. Since I am not allowed to use archers, I am more dependent on my own clan party. So, while our Sturgeon kingdom is at peace, I need to prepare for the wars to come. Now I lead an army of 203 men, double from what I was leading earlier. My kingdom decided to declare war on the Battanians. I want to focus on the north and east side. I will leave the west side to the other Sturgeon clans. My goal is to get a few Nord culture towns or castles to set up my clan. But the good thing is we won't be paying more tribute to the Battanians. The Battanians were at war with the Nords, Sturgians, and the Valandians. So they are totally fucked. I wanted to use this time to train my men. So I did a few quests and attacked a lot of hideouts. There was one big issue. Even after owning 3 workshops and 1 caravan, I was still facing financial troubles. None of my workshops were making half-decent money. I needed to secure the finances, because the army expenditure will only increase in the future. So, I did a quest, which required me to get 118 iron ore, and the pay was really good, 22,000 gold. It took me a few days to find the iron ore. During this time, the Nords declared war on our kingdom. Before I joined the war, I wanted to do one more thing. I completed the quest and got the 22,000 gold. Next, to secure the financial troubles, I decided to form another caravan. So I searched for 4th companion. I found Gerthlind the Wainwright. She is not really good at trading, but there is no one better available. So I gave her the signing bonus of 401 gold and then spent 15,000 gold to form a caravan. Next, on my way to the north, I hired a few horsemen. I have been losing a lot of cavalry, and I don't like the Sturgian cavalry, and Nords don't have cavalry. So I have to recruit Imperial cavalry whenever I am in the Empire territory. I noticed that instead of generating income, my new caravan has really high expenses. I hope they turn into profits soon. Now it's time to focus on Nords. I just realized the pain in joining the Sturgeon as a vassal. Every other army is 3 to 4 days away from me. This might be a big problem in defending and attacking later on. I will have to rely on my own clan armies in the future. I really wanted to take Aginting Castle as my first fief, But 400 defenders is not something my 200 men are ready to take on. This time to level up my troops, instead of going for the villages. I am looking for Nord armies to take on. I chase after these two armies, 65 and 71 strong. And this lead to a slightly larger confrontation. 150 Nords versus 254 Sturgeons. We had a big numbers advantage. The AI, as usual, went ahead and died. My strategy for this battle was to box in the enemy between my infantry and cavalry. But this did not work as I had imagined it to. My cavalry got stuck between the enemy infantry, and a lot of them died because they could not move. We won, but the losses could have been less. Lost 8 of my horsemen, and the rest were just low-tier infantry. For the first time, my caravan of Kalisa, the spice vendor, was attacked and she was taken prisoners. The worst time for something like this to happen. I am going through a financial situation. Losing a caravan could mean I am unable to pay wages of my army. At least the new caravan led by Gertlind was making some profits now. I checked Kalisa's captors were close by, so I went to free Kalisa from her captors. By the time I reached, things were already taken care of. I saw the King of Sturgeons had a quest for me. Maybe an opportunity to fix the financial problems. He wanted me to conquer Agilting Castle, something already on my mind. So I accepted as he offered 20,000 gold to do so. But I can't do it until we get a new caravan, which cost 15,000 gold to start. I did not have the gold to form a new caravan. So I sold all the prisoners I had. Also sold all the prisoners my second army had. Then sold all the equipment and some horses. I was able to get 18,000 gold. I purchased a new caravan for 15,000 gold. Now I just had about 3,000 gold left. Not even enough to pay 2 days of wages. I just hope the new caravan brings in profits quickly. I had to micromanage the finances a bit, so I went to clear this hideout. I plundered around 1,000 gold, got a few prisoners, and a few weapons and armors. Should help us pay the wages. But what happened next was totally unexpected. The Nords and Sturgeons declared peace, and somehow I got 24,000 gold as part of the peace deal. Maybe I can use this time of peace to fix my money problems, and next time Nords will not have it easy. The east side of Sturgeon Empire was at peace. The west side was fighting the Valandians and the Western Empire. I needed to get involved, so I went behind enemy lines into the West Empire territories. The goal: to fight as many armies as possible to gain experience for my troops. A 150-men strong army of the Western Empire attacked me. Even though they have a very small number advantage, the quality and level of troops that I have is unmatched. My infantry just dominated their infantry by sheer quality. In just a few seconds, their army just got obliterated. Most of the losses is always horsemen. I am always unable to micromanage the horses, and few of them just die. On the other hand, the Skjalbrestier are just dominating. I challenged multiple lords back to back. Most of them were weak. Some of them had really strong armies. Every battle made my troops stronger. I had 67 Nord Huskarls, 50 Nord Skjalbrestier, and 12 Imperial Elite Cataphract. After a long wait, finally the Nords declared war on us. It was time to head back north, the moment I had been waiting for. The Nords had built up their strength. They had 10,000 troops, and us Sturgeons only had 7,000. On top of that, Sturgeons were already at war with 3 other kingdoms. while Nords were only at war with us. This could mean we are fucked. When I made it to the north, I saw one of the main towns, Bannerlord, was being sieged. The town had no catapults to defend. There is nothing I can do with my small army of 200 men. I had more than 500 influence that I can use, but the closest army was 2 days away. So I did what I could do best. Take care of smaller army who were raiding the villages. My goal was to defeat enough armies so that I get to Clan Tier 3. I will be able to create a third army that will help me reach a combined strength of 400 men strong. I will be able to capture these castles, which look like a distant dream with this kind of army. We had the numbers and quality of troops advantage in this fight. I lost 11 men, mostly cavalry, in this battle. I still needed to work on my battle strategies further. I always lose valuable horsemen. There was no shortage of Nord armies raiding our villages. This one had a lot better quality troops than the last one. 21 Ulfhedin, 22 Huskar. I again got one tapped by the Ulfhedin from 50 kilometers away. I lost 23 men, and most of them died to their Huskar and Ulfhedin. These troops are no joke. But good thing is that I am getting really high-tier prisoners. I got 7 Huskar and 8 Ulfhedin. They will join my army ranks one day. All the prisoners I got from the war with the Western Empire will help me rebuild the cavalry I have been losing. And finally, our clan Ironborn made it to Clan Tier 3. It's time to form our third army. But the problem is my 2 caravans and 3 workshops are not making enough to support my current 2 army. So I decided to recruit 2 more companions, Gonke the Grey Falcon. He has really good horse riding and scouting. He will be leading our 3rd caravan to make some gold. The other was Attis the Prince. He has high leadership, Steward. Unfortunately, he does not have good medicine skills. I gave them their signing bonuses and formed the caravan in one of the Sturgian towns. It was time to recruit some more soldiers and increase our numbers. So I went on a recruiting spree. I now had a little less than 300 men under my command. I saw a big confrontation about to happen. If I join the fight, I can turn the tables. But the Nord army broke into smaller groups. Perfect for me. I can now deal with these smaller groups without any help. I went after the biggest first. I let my cavalry deal with their archers from one side. My Skjalbrestier attack their infantry from the other side, while the Huskars hold the front side. Unexpectedly, the enemy still managed to kill 20 of my men. I completely forgot that a large part of my army was new recruits that I just got. They stood no chance against this war-hardened Nord army. I used the prisoners to fill up the ranks and chased after a few other groups. The losses were a lot less in these battles. There were 2 Sturgian armies, one moving to retake Ovi Castle and the other one taking back Bannerlord that we had lost to the Nords. It looked like the Nords did not have any big army in the area anymore, so it was time to make my move on my target, the Agenting Castle. So for the first time, I called in the banners. I called in 3 armies, almost 100 strong each, enough to take on the Agenting Castle, and I laid my first siege. But soon I got surrounded by overwhelming number of Nord armies. So I decided to leave the siege and take care of the Nord armies first. I trapped 2 of the biggest armies into a corner. For the first time, performed a clean execution of strategy, boxing the enemy from 3 sides using my cavalry and the 2 infantry units. Only lost 22 men when the enemy was almost 300 men strong. Now that the Nord armies were taken care of, I could focus on Agenting Castle. Things were looking perfect. My caravans are earning good. I am finally making money. The Nords have no big army to defend Aginting Castle. Ov Castle and Balgard are taken back by the Sturgians. The Nords are about to face their biggest defeat, and out of nowhere, the Sturgians admit defeat against the Nord and pay a large sum of gold to Nords for peace. Why now, when I was this close to reaching my objective? They gave Ov Castle to me, but I gave it back. I will get castle and towns on my own. I was forced to accept the peace. I disbanded the army. This period of peace I wanted to utilize by further strengthening my finances. So I am capable of raising the third army. So I went to Balgard. I purchased the smithy workshop in Belgard. There were too many deserters and sea raiders around Balgard, so I asked my second army commander Ulbesos to patrol around Balgard. This will help increase the revenue from the smithy workshop. Things were not looking good for the Sturgians. On the west side, the Vlandians had taken Revile and Ustakol Castle, and the Nords had taken Varcheg. Only one town and one castle remained in control of the Sturgians. Next, I created my third army, with Attis the Prince as its leader, and then went on a recruiting spree. I saw that the Nords were fighting the Khuzaits. The Khuzaits were too strong right now. They raided the two villages attached to Agilting Castle. This made the Agilting Castle defense weak as it faced food shortages. I saw this opportunity and used a lot of influence to declare war on the Nords. They were weak and on back foot, and the Agilting Castle was practically free right now for the taking. I called in 3 decent-sized armies to help with the siege, though my own army, 400 men strong, was enough. I could have won the siege without even fighting, as they had no food. But to give the new recruits experience, I attacked. The small defense of the castle could not hold my forces, and we won it with little losses. Finally, my first fief. This marks a new beginning in the future of Ironborn clan. My priority now was to make this castle strong for defense, because this castle is at the border with the Nords, and also at the border with the Khuzaits. It won't be long before the Khuzaits declare war on us. I gave orders to recruit 300 Nord elite troops to defend this castle. Also gave orders to train them to become 300 Nord Huskarls. Next, I need a governor for this castle. I found Karid, the engineer. He has 161 points in engineering. He will help speed up construction projects in the castle, further improving the revenue generated and defenses. I gave him a signing bonus of 395 gold. I made him the governor of Agilting Castle. Next, I spent a lot of time clearing looters, deserters, and Nord armies around my villages. There was no end to it. I then set up guard party of 40 men to patrol the area. After a lot of battles, the area felt safe for the villagers and recruits to move freely. The Vlandians made peace with us. The Northern Empire was almost on the verge of destruction. They will pay daily tribute from now on. The Nords finally accepted defeat and will pay daily tribute. My workshops, caravans, villages, and castle are all generating good revenue, and finally, everything is green. Life was good, but the dark clouds roamed constantly. The Khuzaits were expanding non-stop. There was a very long time of peace. Finally, the Agilting Castle was 300 men strong, and I did not have to worry about its defense anymore. The Nords were still recuperating, and the Khuzaits were busy fighting the Western Empire. This was a perfect opportunity to make a move on the Khuzaits. So I used my influence to declare war on them. I called in my personal army of 400 men and marched towards Ulixhorn Castle, the only Nord culture fief under Khuzait control. I saw another Sturgeon army, 1,000 men strong, was moving towards another Khuzait castle. Since they had a huge numbers advantage, I waited for them to siege first, so that I get less attention from the Khuzaits. And my plan worked. The siege lasted for more than 12 days, until their food ran out. My plan was to starve them to death, but then the Sergian king approached the castle with his army. If he joins the siege, he will take over command. Then I won't be able to claim it for my clan. So I was forced to attack. We had destroyed the 2 castle walls. Having no archers means my men were defenseless against enemy archers. And since they are defending, they have infinite ammo. The longer the siege lasts, the more my men will die. So, this had to be done quickly. The enemy was holding the choke point, and we were constantly losing men. So I made my infantry push into the enemy formation. A little risky, but this gives my army room to fight. I pushed from one end and started slaying enemy troops. The defenders were no match for my superior trained troops, and within a few seconds the defenders were routing. I claimed the castle, and now our clan had 2 castles under our command. I gave the same instructions to recruit 300 Nord elite units and train them to 300 Nord huskarls. Since my 2 castles stand between the Nord and Khuzait territory, they will need strong defense. I also formed a guard party to roam around the castle so that the new recruits make it to the castle safely. It looked like the other Sturgeon army that was 1,000 men strong lost and were unable to take the other Khuzait castle. If I had sieged first, then I am sure I would have been wiped too. Next, I saw this big Khuzait army moving towards my new castle to besiege. My plan was to defend. But then, it changed direction. It was going towards Urikshala Castle to defend. So I followed along to look for any opportunity. But exactly then, the Nords declared war on us. I was hoping that the tributes coming from Nords will last longer. Now they had more men than us. The worst situation to be in, being at war with both the Nords and Khuzaits. Soon the Nords started attacking my villages. I left the big army to protect the villages. The location of a guilting village makes such that whoever raids it will die, because there is only one way in. I defeated multiple Nord armies who tried to raid my village one after another. The Nords won't stop attacking my villages, and they kept dying. While I was busy dealing with the Nords, our Sturgeon army lost. This was the second time our Sturgeon army had lost and were unable to capture the Urikshala castle. The losses against Khuzaits reached so high that our kingdom accepted defeat and were now paying tribute to the Khuzaits. This was a good thing because we captured a castle from the Khuzaits, and we cannot defend against the Khuzaits and Nords together. But then suddenly, a very large Nord army besieged the new Ulixhorn castle. I had ambitions to capture Hargard, so I called in the biggest army I have gathered yet. The plan to defend the castle first, and then take Hargard, which will be my first town. Towns generate much more revenue than castles. It would make our clan reach another level altogether. I waited for the armies coming from far to join. There were still more men coming to join us, but any more wait would mean losing the castle. We had a huge numbers advantage, so I attacked. It was around 1,000 of our men against 700 Nords. Calling this large army gave me levels in leadership, and I reached 250 leadership. This means our clan can have another army of our own. I had been waiting for this to happen for a long time. Nords are fucked after this. I moved all the archers that join in the new army to the edge of the map. They won't be taking part in this battle. I also formed 3 infantry units and 1 cavalry unit. The first is our shield wall against enemy archers. The second and third unit will be attacking from sides and will be the heavy damage dealers. The fourth unit will be the cavalry who will be distracting the archers away. But the battle did not go as planned. The enemy had around 230 archers. My cavalry was only 50 men. They were unable to distract the archers. Every Nord infantry I fought was either Ulf Hedin or Nord Skjalbrestir. The wars against the Khuzaits left the other Sturgian clans weak, and what they brought were mostly new recruits who were practically doing no damage to high-tier Nord troops. Also being involved in the battle myself, I completely failed to micromanage my units. I failed to realize this, and when I did, it was too late. Better infantry with support from archers destroyed my army. I wanted to salvage this situation. I tried retreating. I still had over 80 prisoners who I can recruit and turn the tables. If I can get out, that is. But I was not lucky like the last time. I had no option to retreat. I saw everything that I had worked so hard for getting destroyed. My army that I had been nurturing to reach such potential just wiped. I lost Ulixhorn Castle and became a Nord prisoner. I stayed in prison for 4 days. I had to pay 10,000 gold to buy my freedom. Lost and broken, I made it all the way to a Jilting Castle. Turns out, more than 80 Nord Huskarls I left in the Agilting Castle had died. I had set up guard parties to defend against village raids. They died fighting too. Both the villages were destroyed too. Suddenly, everything was gone. The Agilting Castle will now face food shortage issues and won't be able to hold this garrison. How do I make a comeback from this? I take 100 Nord Scion from the castle into my personal army. I want to go behind enemy lines, most likely raid villages, and get these men battle-ready. On my way, I ran into some looters. They surrendered, but my party got disorganized. Turns out the looters were running away from a Nord army. I was forced into another battle that I was not ready for. It was a heroic battle. I knew I had to do my best if we want to win this fight. I killed 23 enemy soldiers, but still we lost because of archers. They knew they cannot win in frontal assault, so they backed off, and it was a painful but heroic end to the battle. All of these archers are so annoying. I became a prisoner again. I had lost 100 more troops. Things can't get any worse than this. After a day of captivity, I escaped. I quickly recruited some troops and went behind enemy lines. The situation got even worse for the Sturgians. The Vlandians also declared war on us. The Nords and Western Empire were already too much to handle. The Sturgian Empire gave in. It was too much to handle. Now our empire was paying tribute to the Khuzaits, the Western Empire, the Vlandians, and the Nords. But it was finally peace. It was time to get back our strength and numbers. I recruited as many soldiers as possible. The 3 armies were now full of new recruits. My firstborn Skorin came of age. He is going to be leading our 4th army. He already has 5 points in leadership, steward, and medicine. He is going to be amazing at leading the new party. With this, we had the numbers. Now we only need to train these men for battle. The good thing was our clan Ironborn was growing. While my wife was a prisoner, she gave birth to my 4th child. She is a warrior. The peace did not last very long. These kingdoms are not happy even after getting so much tribute. The Khuzaits declared war. I was looking for a war. I went to raid some Khuzait villages to train my men. I kept attacking these Khuzait villages one after another. Good thing there was no end to the Khuzait territory. The Khuzaits got so frustrated by my raids that they sent some armies to just die to me. Fighting the Khuzaits was a unique experience in its own way. They have a lot of horse archers who are used to bully. My strategy against them was circle formation. They keep going around shooting arrows had almost no impact on my men. When their infantry made it to our circle formation, I just destroyed them personally. Finally, once the horse archers ran out of ammo, they came and died. I continued this for a very long time. To give you an idea, after I was done, I had around 90 Nord Skjalbrestir. The army had a total of about 40 Nord Huskarls in other parties. I came back to recruit some more men to replenish the lost men. Just as I made it back to Sturgeon territory, the Nords declared war. It was finally payback time. The Nords started their dirty game of destroying my villages. So I went to check. On my way, I saw a Nord army fighting just outside my castle.
Well,
it was Horgar.
Forgive me if I cannot wish you peace, old friend.
We have fought so many times that even though he is my enemy, he calls me old friend. His army had really good troops. 38 Ulf Heading, 35 Huskarls. I needed to be careful fighting him. Even if I had numbers, a single mistake, and I would lose too many men to these guys. I surrounded the Nord army from two sides. When we attacked, they were completely surrounded. Even after perfect execution of strategy, I still lost 20 men. But I got 8 Nord Huskarls and 10 Ulf Hedden as prisoners to make up for the loss. I saw one of the Sturgeon armies was trying to retake Vladiv Castle, which we lost to the Nords in the last war. I replenished the troops from the Agilting Castle garrison. 55 Nord Scion were taken. Agilting Castle will recruit on its own until it reaches 300 men. I had more important business to attend to. Retake Ulikshorn Castle. It now holds a little more than 400 men, including 89 Sky God's chosen archers among other good troops. So I decided to play dirty just like the Nords. For the first time, I destroyed villages. This will cause food shortages, and Nords will be forced to reduce their garrison. I am willing to play the long game. On my way back, I saw that the Nords still hold Vladiv Castle with only 160 men. My army can easily take it if there are no big Nord armies around. I laid the siege and no one came to help the Nords. I destroyed both the walls and attacked. With my numbers advantage, my armies just pushed into the castle. Within seconds, the defenders lost. I captured the castle with just 8 losses. I took the castle under my clan Ironborn, even though it has Sturgian culture. I got stuck in this loop of defending villages. I was winning, but the Sturgeons were losing. My troops were high tier, but the Sturgeon troops would end up losing every fight. They also lost Varcheg to the Nords on the west side. I was focused on getting my 3rd castle and raiding the villages attached to Ulikshorn Castle. It turned out causing food shortage was not as easy as I thought it would be. Before I could get anything done, the Sturgeons accepted defeat. The worst part was the Vladiv Castle was given back to the Nords. This made me furious. He may be king, but he had no right to do so without my consent. Is it time that we leave the Sturgians' empire for good? Not everything that happened was bad. My clan just made it to clan tier 4. This means bigger army size. I can also form my 5th army now and start my own kingdom.